I hope you're having a happy apocalypse. In this video, I'm going to basically try to give you a rundown of how our class will be changing since we've had to move from the traditional classroom setting to a purely online format for the class, and to kind of help you to navigate our course Blackboard page where most of our remaining interactions are going to take place. So as you can see, right now I'm just on the home page, and there are a number of different tabs that you can access through this left-hand pane on the left-hand side of your screen. The most immediate is the course homepage, which is right here, but there's not actually all that much that you need to do on the homepage. Think of it as like a hub to help you find stuff. Of course, you're going to need to pay attention to your announcements. For most of the important ones, I'm also going to go ahead and forward these to you in the form of an email. But, make sure you pay attention to the announcements section, especially right now because we're in a transitory phase, which means that a lot of what I tell you is going to be subject to change. It's going to evolve and alter over time, including, for example, this announcement where I gave you some information on how we're going to handle those extra credit opportunities that were made available to you prior to spring break and the coronavirus interruption. So pay attention to that, but most of what you're going to need to do will be located here under the Coursework tab. Just like before, there's going to be a single coursework folder containing content for each week of the semester. So, for example, in weeks 10 and 11, we had spring break. So there's not really much in there. There's just a schedule of events, but if you actually open week 11, the content folder is empty. Whereas if you look at the week 12 folder where we are going to begin on March 30th, you're going to find that there's actually quite a bit in here for you to take a look at. So down here at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and move that to the top. We've got a web link, and if you click this, it's going to navigate you to YouTube, and this will be our lecture for the week. So after you've done all of your reading, you should watch the lecture and then move on to our graded assignments. The required reading will be linked in the folder or found in your textbook, and you can figure out what you need to read by looking at the course schedule that I will make available to you with each week's coursework folder. So, for example, this week you can see there are 3 readings, an excerpt from the chapter 6 in your textbook, a short article called The Holocaust Polling Error, A Cautionary Tale, and a handout that's going to be very helpful to you for this week's assessment. Each week, you can expect anywhere between 1 and 3 graded components. And so, for example, this week what you're going to find is that we have a graded assessment or a worksheet, a graded discussion board activity, and a quiz. The quiz is going to be multiple choice. There will be 5 questions, and you will have 6 minutes to complete it, and you're going to find that in this folder. And each subsequent week will also have a quiz that contains 5 questions and 6 minutes to complete it. All quizzes and exams are going to be multiple choice and open book, open note, unless I specify otherwise, but they are going to be timed. And what that means is that you're going to need to actually know the content because you won't have enough time to check your notes or look up the answers to all of the questions in your textbook. By and large, my suggestion is that for a 5-question quiz, you should be able to answer at least 4 of the questions without looking at your notes, and you should only have to refer to notes or textbook question content for 1 out of the 5 questions per quiz. Our exams will be 50 multiple choice questions. You will have 60 minutes, and I would suggest not having to look up the answers to more than 5 questions, because if you do that, again, that doesn't give you enough time to work through the entire quiz. If you require time and a half for a university-recognized disability, then I want you to get your accommodations, but it is your responsibility to notify me in advance of every quiz and every exam, and to make sure that you get your documentation emailed directly to me from the University Testing Center. For our assessments, there will probably be 1 per week, but you're going to be pretty familiar with these. You can download them by clicking the link here, and then you will come down and click open. Inside, what you will find then is the actual assessment worksheet with some specific instructions. Just complete the assignment. Save this as a simple .doc or .docx Word document, and then you're going to come back to the course Blackboard page. You will click the link, and you will drag your submission into this box like so. You could also click Browse Your Computer and find it there, but either way, once it's attached, you click Submit, and you will have submitted your graded assignment. The discussion boards are pretty self-explanatory. I think you all already know how to use those. And of course, we still have our optional resources. So this is the basic layout that you can expect for all remaining class content this semester. To my knowledge, we are going to do all classes online. That means that there is not going to be any in-class interaction. And to make up for that, we are going to have a bit more work to complete in terms of activities, quizzes, and discussions. Our exam schedule shouldn't be significantly changed, but again, pay attention. Each week I'm going to upload a new content folder, and you're going to have a certain period of time to complete all that content. So for example, I have made this week 12 content available to you a little early, but you're basically going to need to complete all of the content within this folder before Friday, April the 3rd at 11:59 p.m. And you're going to need to submit all of the graded components by that time, because after that point, the assessments, quizzes, and discussion boards may no longer be available, and you will receive a 0. In terms of makeup opportunities and how the classroom policy has changed there, I'm not going to accept any late work in this class because you have a window of opportunity. My advice to you is to complete all of the content as early as possible so that there is enough time for us to address any technical difficulties that you might encounter before the deadline approaches, because once that deadline is passed, I am simply not going to allow you to submit the assignment, the quiz, or the discussion board, or the exam, and you will receive a 0 unless you are quite literally in a coma or suffering some serious medical catastrophe, in which case we'll have to have some communications. You can still contact me through email. They are going to be closing down the campus, to my understanding, for at least a period of time. So we're going to need to communicate pretty much entirely through email. That's okay. We're going to make it work. It's going to be all right. We'll get through this semester, and I hope that this video has been helpful to you. Bye.